listening to Ridecast, the podcast of the Widow Sons Ridings chapter. The opinions expressed in this episode do not represent those of the Widow Sons Masonic Biker Association UK and Ireland. You can find us on Facebook at Widow Sons-Ridings chapter, on Instagram at Widow Sons_Ridings chapter. Our website is ridings.wsmba.uk. You can look us up on YouTube by searching for the Ridecast channel. And if you want to contact us directly, email us on ridecast@hotmail.com. Right, that's the housekeeping taken care of. Kickstands up, on with the show. And hello, and welcome to Ridecast Season 3, Episode 3. This is your host, Yakka, and let me introduce these two reprobates that are sat looking at me over Zoom. We've got Gremlin. Hello, Gremlin.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And Pigpen. How's it going with you, Pigpen?
All good here, thank you very much.
Excellent. We've got a really good episode lined up. We're going to call this one the Rally Special because we've just come back last week from the National Rally. But before we get to the National Rally, we've got a little bit of other stuff to cover. We've got some news updates for you, what we've been doing in the 5 weeks since our last recording. So I'll fire it straight off into this episode. Let's have a little rundown of what we've been doing.
Is it only 5 weeks? It seems like yesterday.
5 weeks, I believe it was, roughly, yeah. So after the last recording, very soon afterwards, we attended the Connaught Court Fair.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Who went to the Connaught Court Fair?
Only the best.
Only the best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I was away on holiday.
Again.
So for any of you that don't know, Connaught Court is a care facility.
Royal Masonic Benevolent Institute.
That's easy for you to say.
Royal Masonic, RMBI, Royal Masonic Benevolent Institution Care Home.
Care home. Yeah, I mean, it's a care home, but it's run by the Masons, basically.
Well, it's a nursing home as well. They do have nursing facilities there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. They one of the rare things they do is if you have a pet, when you go in, you can take your pet in with you. There's not many care facilities that let you bring your dog with you. And they also have like a social area where they have a drinks cabinet.
They wouldn't let me take my crocodile last year.
Of course, because you went for a while, didn't you? How long were you in there for? Was it a week?
I was in there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks respite.
Yeah.
To give Tess a bit of a break from you, that was, wasn't it?
It was actually after my accident. I had 2 weeks there. Yeah.
What was it like? What was it like in there? Did you get looked after?
I did. It was fantastic. It was lovely. It was lovely. I mean, the average age is about 80 odd. Yeah. So with me being early 50s.
Are there a lot of residents that are Masons or just attached to Masons?
The thing that surprised me more than anything was very few Freemasons in there. Certainly dependents of Masons were in there, and also I spoke to quite a few people that had nothing to do with Masons at all that were living there.
Very good. Right. So anyway, once a year, well, they haven't done this for the last few years because of COVID and then the death of Her Majesty. It was cancelled last year.
It was,
but
yes.
They do hold an annual fair, summer fair, in order to raise some funds, raise some money, and they have all the usual stuff: the tombola, the coconut shy, bits and bobs, trinkets being sold, lots of Masonic gear being sold. They also ask the Widow Sons to go every year to put our bikes on display because all the visitors like to look at the bikes, don't they?
Kajagoogoo man the coconut stand, don't they? You're too shy. Hush.
That's bad even for Gremlin, isn't it? That's bad.
That's what we used to know.
Yeah. What else did they have? Obviously, they had us there with the bikes. They had the Classics on the Square guys there with all the vintage cars. Yeah, the cots. With all the vintage cars, and they had the band. Who were the band? Pigpen, can you remember who the band were?
AC/DC.
No, they had a brass band playing.
They had a brass band there, didn't they?
I can't remember who they were, though, but they were good, weren't they? They were doing all the exactly.
Did they do
the whole of the floral dance now?
Did they do the floral dance?
They did. They were doing like Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff like that. It was pretty good. So anyway, me and Pigpen went along to that, along with about 7 or 8 bikes in total, something like that,
and a few Klingons.
So that and the weather was beautiful. It was super hot. And do you remember, Pigpen, that
I'm just looking back here? Who went? We had Alien. We had 2 hours. There was yourself. There was Trip. There was House. Stack. There was
Stack?
me. There was Scud, and there was Grandpa.
That's right. Yeah, because Grandpa was there in his Corvette Stingray, wasn't he?
Yes, he was doing a bit of both, wasn't he? He was with the cars and the bikes.
Yep.
Anything else about Connaught Court, Pigpen, you want to add?
We got a few good pictures, didn't we, with the PGM? We had a good chat with the PGM. It was a lovely hot day, though. It's when we had summer.
Yes.
Yep, many years ago.
All right, so moving on. Next thing was our chapter barbecue with an awesome ride, as I recall.
I didn't make the day. I wasn't here, was I?
Of course, you were out diving, weren't you?
I was away scuba diving. I was on my way back down from sunny Scotland.
You were looking for sunken treasure, weren't you?
Were you at the Isle of Muff?
The Isle of Muff. No, that was different. This was we were looking for the German sunken fleet up in Scapa Flow.
And did you find it?
We did.
Can we do a segment on that? That sounds really interesting.
We did. We found the ships.
How many are there?
There were 77 that got scuttled, and there's 7 left. All the rest were sort of lifted and scrapped and that, but they left 7 for some reason.
What sort of condition are they in now?
Well, they're just over 100 years old, so they are starting to deteriorate and sort of crack open and split open. So, yeah, since I've been diving them, you can definitely see, some of them had the big deck-mounted guns were on the decking, and now the decking's peeled off and that's laid on the floor with the upside down. But
what sort of depth are they at then?
Shallowest is about I think it's about 21 meters is the shallowest.
Right, so you have a bit of natural light down there then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, on a good day, it's okay.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Do you think if you put your mighty Honda down there, it would still be in as good condition in 70 years?
That's a good question.
It'd still be there, unlike the mighty Harley Davidson. Gone.
It'd be dust, wouldn't it?
But then saying that, there is a wreck out in the Red Sea that we've done, which is a thing called the Thistlegorm. And that was sunk in 1942-3. And that's full of motorbikes, all BSAs and things like that.
Oh, yes, yeah. I've heard about
that.
Yeah.
Really interesting wreck. There's trucks, motorbikes, guns, aeroplane wings, shells, tanks, trains. There's all sorts on this wreck. It's a big old lump.
Must be if it's got a train on it.
But there's 2 trains.
Wow.
They got blown off. But yeah, no, there's loads of BSA motorbikes. Some real iconic pictures. If you look on the internet for the Thistlegorm wreck, Red Sea.
Anyway, getting back to the barbecue, getting back to our chapter barbecue.
It was brilliant. It was when summer was happening again.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was in July. Was it July?
Yep.
Not July, June.
June.
End of June. We did a real nice ride up to Helmsley and Stokesley and some back roads back to Thirsk. Great ride. We had a new candidate with us that came along who is...
Well, can we actually clarify that point? He wasn't a candidate then.
No, he wasn't. He was just a ride-along, wasn't he?
A rider came along. He was a friend of Elton's, and he enjoyed it so much.
Isn't it?
Yep, enjoyed it so much that he is now going to be initiated into Harlow Lodge in October, and he will become a candidate for the widow's sons on the 4th of October after his initiation.
Another success. Brilliant.
Another success.
And
absolutely.
Good old Badger put on a great spread for us at the barbecue. So that was a successful day. And I think we raised a couple of £100 for charity.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really nice. Very enjoyable. Great food. Great company. You weren't there, were you, Pigpen? That's why it was great company. And that's why there was some food left as well.
Moving on. Leithley Cafe was next. This was your little jaunt, Gremlin.
This was across the farmers' fields, and yeah, this was a great job.
Hang on a second. You lot take so much about my Harley being like a tractor. I thought we would go across some farmers' fields.
Yeah, it was excellent.
We had decided.
Let me put it this way: I was glad I was on the adventure bike for that one.
We had decided that it would be nice to try a farm cafe in Leithley called Leithley Farm Cafe of all names.
Near Otley.
Near Otley. Near Poole and Wharfdale, actually. In fact, it's in Leithley. So we started. Where did we start? We started in
Morrison's at your
Morrison's petrol stations, Wetherby. Yeah, and Bobby just about turned up because he thought the petrol station was actually in the supermarket, and it
That's
wasn't.
right. Yeah.
Anyway, he found us in the end, which was great. So, but what happened was Inky Stinky said that he was going to lead a ride out, and then he backed out at the last minute. Well, I don't know which way to go. So I thought, well, I would lead the ride then. So we went from Wetherby to Spofford.
Yeah.
Did we? I'm trying to think which way we did. Yeah, from Spofford.
Well, I remember we turned off down some farm track. And
Then we went through Beckwithshaw, and then we turned down towards Fewston. And then from Fewston, we turned left on the Otley Road there. And a couple of miles down the road, there was a sign that said, oh, God,
please close the gates behind you. Something like that, wasn't it?
What was the village sign for? It's not Leithley. What was it for?
No idea.
I think it began with an I. Anyway, so we turned left. And after about a mile or so, we suddenly came to some, it was a gated road, wasn't it?
Yes.
And can you believe it? The only person that was forced to get off his bike to open his gates was the guy with one leg, the disabled rider.
Yeah, that's true.
Forced.
Well, in my defence, I was right at the back and I couldn't see what was going on at the front. But that was when everyone started beeping their horns and revving their engines and putting you under pressure. So it was you that opened the gate, was it?
Well, no, because I couldn't. Somebody beat me to it in the end because I was about long to get off the bike. It was Lindley. The signs for Lindley we went.
Right.
And I think in total, were there 4 gated roads that we had to go across?
Yeah. A bit of a nightmare, but it was good fun. It was a laugh.
And to be fair, by the 4th gate, we got it sussed, hadn't we?
Yeah. We had a guy open up, get everyone through. The last guy through the gate stopped to close it, and then the first guy jumped back on his bike, rode through. Yeah, we had a good system down. It was a good fun day. Weather was good. The cafe was pretty good as well. And then from point, we all
I think there's some pictures on the website of Pigpen on his tractor.
That's right.
And there quite a few came on that ride as well, and it was really enjoyable. It was nice to go somewhere a bit different, bit of a laugh with these farmers' fields, and I managed to plough a couple of dozen acres on the way round.
Yeah, Lee was there. Lee turned up on that one, and apparently
he met us there.
He's an ex-karate guy, so it looks like his road name might end up being Miyagi, as in Miyagi. Miyagi? No? Anyone? We'll come back to that later. For the listeners out there, me and Gremlin had a lovers tiff last weekend. We'll tell you all about it when we get to segment 2. Anyway, right, okay, so Leithley Cafe, go on.
So what's next on the list? What's next?
Next I've got Scuds Patching, new member.
Yes.
So that was out at Pigpen's farm again, our usual patching facility.
It was. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's always a bit touch and go with riding. There's somebody might get a black ball. I don't think we can say this, do you?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that in. So clear ballot for Scud, popular guy on the old crutches there. So up to Pigpen's farm, and I've got to say, Pigpen, your Emma is a trooper. She always cooks us the old sausages and egg sarnies, and bakes a cake for us, and keeps the tea and coffee flowing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we get fed and watered, and then we go outside and we do our ceremony.
Yep, 7 members of diabetes now, thanks to Emma's cooking, because it's that rich and it's brilliant. It is absolutely stuff your face.
Yeah, come on now, Pigpen, get some HP sauce in there, will you, for next time? It's just not good enough. I mean, ketchup's okay, but
it was brown sauce.
Was there brown? Oh, I maybe didn't see that then.
Yeah,
I think there was a bit. I think there was a bit of barbecue sauce, but I didn't see any brown.
Yeah, no, there were brown, barbecue, sweet chili, tomato.
Right, okay. I stand corrected.
Why would you put barbecue sauce on a bacon sandwich?
I've no idea.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have bacon, so.
No, they want bacon. It was sausage and egg. Are you not listening?
Why would you put barbecue sauce on a sausage sandwich?
I don't know.
Did anybody do that?
I think people thought it was brown sauce and they accidentally put a bit of barbecue on. But anyway, we digress. Patching ceremony went perfect. Gremlin, as usual, did the obligation, all from memory.
I settled my nerves by having a couple of rocky roads before we got out there.
Yeah, that rocky road's good stuff in it with the marshmallows in it. Gremlin did the obligation. I did the address after the obligation. We did the full ceremony with the bikes and everything.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant it is. And that was Scud duly patched into the chapter. So welcome to Scud.
Our very own Raspberry Ripple.
Right. Shortly after that patching ceremony, we had a visit to my lodge, the Agricola Lodge in York, and it was Inky Pigpen. Scud came along with his patched up cut, and a few other guys as well. Obviously, Jag and Alien were there. And thanks to you guys for coming along. We did a first degree ceremony and followed by an awesome festive board, and it was great to see all the guys there to support me. My only disappointment was obviously being Worshipful Master now. I can't sit with the rest of the crew. I have to sit on the top table and hobnob it with the VIPs. So I missed out on their company at the festive board, but such is life.
Had a good night. Good night.
Yeah, it's all right, wasn't it?
I'd say Inky and Wayne came along, and Wayne hadn't done a lot of visiting yet, and he'd definitely not visited a North and East Lodge where the firing glasses and
oh yeah, that's right, yeah,
point left rights and all that. And I don't think Inky had either, so he hadn't a clue what was going on. And
well, he doesn't in your lodge.
well, I was going to say, I didn't have a clue what's going on a good day, but yeah, it all got a bit. There were a lot of clapping in wrong places and pointing, and
yeah.
Quite funny.
Speaking of visits, what have we got coming up in the way of lodge visits? I know we've got Lee's initiation. Not sure when that is.
October. Friday, 6th of October, Harlow Lodge, Harrogate.
We've got Frank's installation coming up shortly.
We're trying to organise something to get back, if we can, get down to see Cassio.
Oh yeah, I'd like to do that, but his lodge meeting night is on the same night as mine, and we don't have a summer break, so it causes issues for me. I might have to go when I'm out of the chair. I can't really give apologies for my lodge when I'm Worshipful Master to go and visit another lodge, can I?
But he will be out of the chair before you're out of the chair, isn't that right?
Yeah, he will. So it'll have to be a visit when he's not in the chair, I guess.
I think though he could be staying in.
Oh really? Okay. He's going to do a second.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they've got anybody. I think they were at one point possibly handing the warrant in.
Right.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so I think he's sort of said he'll stay on just to
keep it going,
keep it open, sort of thing. So he's going to possibly stay on as master. So I don't know.
Well, speaking of being master, I've got my name on the the board in the lodge where they put your name up.
Yep, the honours board.
Yeah, my name's up there now. I thought that generally happens after you come out of the chair.
They're trying to tell you something. They want you gone.
They want me out. No, I think they just were updating. They were a few years behind.
Yeah, it's cheaper to do it in one go.
Yeah, while we've got someone in doing this, we'll have the current master.
That's good. Nice to see that.
I'm saying normally most places are about 4 years out of date. So
exactly, yeah. Right, and next was today. I myself didn't attend this, neither did you, Gremlin, but Pigpen was there in all his. Oh, you were sorry, Gremlin, you were there, weren't you? It was Pigpen.
I was, but we've missed out the rally, but we're doing that later, aren't we?
Well, yeah, we've got a whole segment for the rally, segment 2. So the last one is Grandpa's paella party.
Yeah, so Grandpa, also known as Jack Barry or OBE, MBE holds a.
We've had this conversation last month.
He holds a paella party every year for the Widow Sons, but also for the Classics on the Square, which are the Masonic Classic Car Club.
Yeah.
And a group of us turned up today, and it's his son-in-law, Emilio, either son-in-law or his niece's husband is Spanish, and he always cooks this massive paella. So we were there. Then we were treated to a look round Barry's wonderful museum of cars and motorbikes.
Yeah.
And it was thoroughly enjoyable. I think it was Scud's first visit there. And it's nice. We actually missed the rain, which was good. And on the whole, it was a most enjoyable day. And think about this, Barry is 94 this year, and he's as bright as a button. His wife Margaret, she was helping out there with the drinks and everything, and for the pair of them in their 90s to put in this every year, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, excellent. So that was thoroughly enjoyed by everyone who attended.
It was.
And we're back into segment 2 of the show, and this is the Widow Sons Masonic Biker Association National Rally 2023 special. Let's get started on the rally, guys, because it was a big weekend last weekend. First of all, where was it held?
It was held in Hull Ionians Rugby Club, Brantlingham Road, Hull.
Hull, that's right. And the reason it was held in Hull was because it was the venue that the Ridings chapter had chosen. How many years ago? 3 years ago?
Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was our turn to host, basically.
It was actually chosen in 2019 for the 2020 rally.
That's right. And we were hosting, so it was all up to us to do the planning. We looked at 3 or 4 different venues. We settled on Hull, and then COVID kicked in, and that put a stop to it for at least 2 years, wasn't it? 20 and 21 we cancelled. And then obviously in 22 we handed over to Durham chapter to host, to give them a go, because they'd been waiting for so long. And then we got it back for 23, but by then the hosts had gone regional, so there were 3 chapters hosting, which were Pigpen. Who were the hosts?
There was the Ridings chapter,
Yeah,
of the West Ridings. There was the Parisi chapter of the North and East Riding of Yorkshire, and there was the Lincoln Imps from Lincolnshire.
yeah, Links Imps from Lincolnshire. So 3 chapters hosting, which, you know, it sounds like a lot, but looking at next year, I think there's like 5 chapters hosted next year, right? There's a combination of 5 chapters, but we'll get back to next year later on in the segment. So yeah, so it was the 3 chapters hosting, and that was, as Gremlin has said, over in Hull. Right, so the rally started on the Friday, so obviously there were people there on the Thursday, the hosting chapters there on the Thursday setting up. I didn't attend on the Friday. Who was there on the Friday?
I was.
No, I didn't.
You didn't make it on the Friday, yeah.
No, I had lodge on Friday, so I didn't get there Friday.
So what time did you get there on the Friday morning, Gremlin?
I arranged to meet Pacamac at 9 o'clock at Morrison's Weatherby petrol station, and we set off then, and we got to Hull for about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right, and was there anything going on at that time? Were there arrivals already?
Yeah, it was just checking in. The marquee, the entrance exit gate marquee was open and ready for business, and I slipped into position for my slot starting from 11 o'clock in the morning.
And were you getting a lot of guys rolling in, a lot of bikes arriving on the Friday?
Yeah, it was a steady trickle, and then sometimes we get like a chapter would turn up in one go. We might get 15 bikes to check in, and it was pretty straightforward. A fantastic system that we're using. You know, we used our smartphones, and it was all linked to an app, so it was really easy to check people's names if they'd forgotten their if they hadn't printed off their QR code. It didn't matter. Had the surnames and managed to get them checked in then.
And they got the little wristbands.
Little wristbands. They got a little orange dot for their headlights, so they could come in and out with being stopped again. And the centre of the first field was for the 3 hosting chapters, so Ridings, Parisi, and Lincoln Imps. They all set up their tents around there. Then around the rest of the site itself, where the other chapters made their bases.
There's quite a few mobile home type, RV type things in there as well, weren't there?
Yeah, well, once somebody turned up, it looked like a prisoner escort van. It was one of those massive things.
The G4S prison escort.
Yeah, it did, yeah. There were 17 people inside it.
Apart from checking in lots of arrivals on the Friday, was there anything else going on, or did you leave fairly early, or what did you do?
I finished my shift at 6 p.m.
So you were on the gate for a fair while then. Yeah,
to be fair, it was great because you got to see who was coming in. You know, you got to make renew acquaintances, make new acquaintances. I did have a little wander around. Everybody was just starting to, you know, set up and, you know, get the tent sorted, their caravans sorted, whatever they'd come in, and get some food, get some drinks, and just relax. And I think there wasn't any music as such that night. There was a disco, just so people could chat and relax.
Yeah. So I rode over on the Saturday morning.
Pigpen and I were already there.
You got there early, didn't you?
Yeah. I think that the members of Ridings that got there on the Friday, there was Rick, there was Cassio, Pacamac, Bandit, and Cappy came. Did Cappy come Friday night or Saturday?
No, Cappy came with me on the Saturday morning. Because Cappy and Scud came to my house, and we rode over. We set off about 9 o'clock, and we arrived at about 9:30, 9:45.
Pigpen and I met up at 8, and we rode over. We were there for 9, and I got back on the checking-in desk. Pigpen was there.
Pigpen needed to be there early to get onto
one of the marshals for the ride.
Yeah.
Frank was there. Bobby was there. You know, there was a really good turnout from Ridings in the end. Have we missed anybody? Have we missed anybody?
I don't think so.
I think there were about 14 or 15 of us, weren't there?
Yeah. So anyway, as soon as I arrived, I got the old camera out, got the old steady cam out and started filming and captured a few arrivals. And then obviously captured Pigpen in his fluorescent jacket, along with about 7 other Widow Sons in fluorescent jackets, who were marshalling the giant ride out. Bully was there doing a pre-ride briefing with about, I don't know, there must have been 50 or 60 people stood around him. So I captured a bit of that on camera. And I got to say, you know, Pigpen, you were involved in the ride, so you can tell us what that was like. But I filmed everyone leaving, and, you know, I counted at least 60 bikes in that ride. It was absolutely incredible.
68 of us went on the ride. Yeah. And 68 came back, so that was a good sign.
I counted them all out, and I counted them all back in.
Yeah, so 68 bikes. So it was a fair old procession.
Now, can you tell me, out of all of those bikes, what was the predominant brand that was being ridden at the rally this year?
Honda.
It was a fair variety, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was everything from, there were 2 trikes, there was Hondas, there was
Ducatis, weren't there?
Yeah, there was every make, Triumphs and Harleys. I don't think there was anything really predominant, but
yeah.
We had a good ride. Bully led the ride.
Tell me, Pigpen, how did the marshalling work? Because you guys as marshals were all at the front, and I'm guessing you guys dropped off, so none of the visitors had to drop off.
No, so instead of getting visitors to drop off and that type of carry on, the marshals dropped off, and what we were actually doing is we were getting to the front, and then we were blocking roads off as well. So if we were turning left, somebody'd park across the road to make sure everybody turned left rather than that. And
so once you got swept up by the back marker, you would then overtake the entire pack to get back to the front with the rest of the marshals. Is that what you would do?
Yeah, so basically we just sort of weaved our way back to the front again. That's why we had 8 marshals, so that there was 2 or 3 were dropping off all the time, but there were still 2 or 3 heading forward.
Fantastic. So it was really well organised then.
So yeah, that worked really well.
No separations anyway.
Never didn't lose a soul. So we did about 45 miles over the hills and dales around the coast up to Seaways
Cafe. Yeah. Did you stop off for a bite to eat there then and a brew?
Yeah, we had sort of 45, 50 minutes there. So 68 people invaded the car park, and
I bet they were shocked when they saw 68 bikes all rolling in at one go.
We filled the car park and the road, and yeah, they got a bit of a shock in the cafe when everyone just.
Did no one give them a heads up that they would?
Yeah, they did. They were told the day before.
Yeah, I think they were told they were coming, but still, it was.
Yeah.
Probably weren't expecting that many.
You would have had 69 riders, but Alien was still having his breakfast when you all set off. Because he picked up his phone and said, "Right, I better get out there and get on the ride with them." And I said, "They've all gone."
Oh, there was Bandit as well. What about Bandit Gremlin?
Well, Bandit joined the ride out late because he couldn't find his keys, and then he finally found them underneath his tent.
Wow, so, he was lucky to find them.
Yeah, he was, and he knew what the route was, so he joined at some point. Joined the ride.
Speaking of Bandit, you still owe me a T-shirt, mate, from last year.
From last year, and then House. By the time you lot got back, House had turned up as well at the site.
Yeah, and I obviously captured them all riding back in as well. And while the ride out came back to base, there was a piper there. I don't know if you could hear him. Could you?
Yeah.
Your crash out. Yeah, there was a Widow Son there playing the bagpipes, which was an awesome thing to see. You know, thick end of 70 bikes rolling back into the rugby club with a piper playing them in. I filmed it all, captured it all on the camera. So I will put the video in over the video episode of the podcast, so you can have a look at what we're talking about.
I didn't know what the piper was doing. I thought he was warming up for something.
No, he piped them all back in. All of them arriving back
in. Got you.
Yeah. When Pigpen was out on the ride, me and Gremlin spotted Worshipful Brother Peter Younger wandering by. So we collared him, dragged him to one side, and we did a brief interview with him. So do you guys want to hear that now?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the interview with Peter Younger. So this is Yakka with Gremlin at the National Rally 2023, Widow Sons Masonic Biker Association National Rally, and with us, we're very proud to say we've got worshipful brother Peter Younger with us, also known as, now are you ready for this, what is it, Gremlin?
I'm not small, I'm far, far away.
That's a long road name. So, hello Peter, how are you?
Very well.
Good, good. Now, you stepped down, was it last year from the
It was, yes.
chairman's role?
Yes.
So how are you finding retirement?
Peaceful.
From what I understand, you're quite busy. You're a busy man anyway, though.
Well, yeah, I like to keep busy. I'm one of these 100% type of people. You either do all or nothing, and I prefer to do all.
Yeah, and you're still very involved with the Widow
Unlike
Sons, aren't
Yakka,
you?
who likes to do nothing.
Oh, yeah. No, still very involved, working with our strengthening bonds and ties with our European brethren, which is going very well.
Have we got any European brethren here today?
We haven't, no, not today, but I'm in regular contact with him, and I've been overseas to meet them. We had meetings in France a couple of years ago, and I was down in Switzerland a couple of years back, and then we're formally signing the European Charter in March of next year.
So you're like our travelling delegate then?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Ambassador.
ambassador.
That's a better word.
That's a nice term. I like that.
Yeah.
Ambassador.
And will they be Masonic Bikers Association as we are?
To be honest, really now it doesn't make any difference whether you're Masonic riders, whether you're Masonic bikers. At the end of the day, we're all Masons, we're all Masons. That's the focus now. And what's been in the past has stayed there, and it can remain there. Going forward now, it's all about unity, it's all about brotherhood, it's all about friendship.
100% agreed, yeah. So tell us about your bikes, because I follow you on Facebook, and I see that you seem to change bikes every 6 months or so. You seem to have a new ride in the stable. What have you got now?
Well, I've just had a bit of a clear out of the stable. I had 4 bikes up until last month. I'm down to 2 now. Currently I have a Harley Davidson Heritage Softail, and I've got a Harley Davidson Dyna Fat Bob, and I've just parted recently with a Ducati ST.
Very sensible.
And,
stick with the Harleys, Peter. Stick with the Harleys.
And I also had one of the Yamaha phases with the R1 version, which was nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, the big one.
I had a bit of fun on that. No, I've moved it on now, but I've always
You prefer your cruisers then?
Is it anything to do with small man syndrome that you got a massive Harley?
No, I don't think so. I mean, reaching the ground is always a benefit. So, you know, the
And you
cruisers
can the lowdown.
Yeah. So I mean, the cruisers are definitely a benefit for that. Otherwise, I need the Elton John platform boots. So yeah, but I mean, I'm looking for something else. I'm not sure what yet. I've had numerous Bonneville's, Triumph Bonneville's T140s, and that's a bike that really gets under your skin.
So you've not always been a Harley guy then?
Oh, good God, no! I've had also.
You like your Japanese bikes as well?
Do you tinker with your bike? Or
Oh
do
yes,
you?
very much so.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're not like me that just takes it straight to Harley to be
No,
dealt
I mean,
with.
the Dyna stripped down just last weekend and upgraded the front end, put progressive springs in and heavier oils down, handling a bit. So, no, I do like to tinker.
So what's your money no object bike? If you had, a lottery winner, you could buy anything. What would you like? It's a toughie, isn't it, that one?
It is a toughie. I think because I've had pretty much every bike under the sun.
Have you? You've had everything you wanted?
Well, I've had my share of Brit bikes, Royal Enfields, Triumphs and all that sort of thing. I've went through the sports bikes, GSX 11s and Fireblades and all that sort of stuff. I mean, bikes are like food. You don't eat one thing, do you?
No.
So
Variety is the
nice
spice of life, isn't it?
Absolutely. No, it's good to have a bit of variety because...
Are you listening, Gremlin?
I am.
Mr. Harley,
Because
through.
there's lots of Harley Davidsons, so variety
Expand
is
your
the spice
horizon,
of
yeah.
life.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it's good to have a bike for each mood. Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing with that phaser was if you wanted to go out and be a little bit naughty, and throw around a few bends and this sort of thing,
because they had the detuned R1 engine, didn't they? They were very powerful, weren't
they? Yeah. So that was tremendous for that. And the Ducati was a whim. One of these purchases that I saw it on that Facebook Marketplace, and if I thought about it, I wouldn't have bought it.
Was it 900?
It was the 944.
944 Desmodromic engine, Gremlin. Do you remember that Desmo engine?
The suspension on it's rock hard because effectively you know what Ducatis are like.
Yeah.
And I just found after 30 minutes it was just I couldn't ride it anymore.
Just thoroughbred sports bikes, aren't they?
Thoroughbred sports bike. I mean, it was good fun. It was good fun. Don't get me wrong, but I knew I wouldn't put the time into it that it deserved. So I moved.
You
it
get
on.
through tyres quickly on a Ducati.
Black tyres you do,
Black
they
tyres
chew
you do.
tyres up, definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to ask Peter?
No, I think everything seems to be going well from what we're hearing.
Well.
It's been a great rally so far.
It's been a great rally so far.
It's only rained once.
The good thing about the annual event is it reminds us all of what we do it for.
Yeah.
It's the get together. It's giving something back to the members, but we'll all get together and have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And catch up with people we haven't seen for a while.
I think we sold about 450 tickets.
Yeah.
And it's pretty full, and there's a lot coming to the lodge today.
Yep.
And day visitors, so it's all good.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, worshipful brother Peter.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Catch you next time. Cheers, Pete. There you go. That was some good interviewing by you and me there, wasn't it, Gremlin?
You like that one, PP?
Yeah, all right. Better.
There's a little bit of background wind noise, so sorry to the listeners. We've got a couple of actually 3 more interviews to run by you, and there's a little bit more background noise, people laughing and shouting and kids running by. So apologies in advance. But the next interview we've got was with Prep School, wasn't it?
Yep.
Prep School is the chairman of the Widow Sons. So we saw him wandering by and we said, do you want to come back on the show and have a little catch up? And he was like, sure. So here is the interview with Prep School. And we're here with the returning guest now of Ridecast. We've got Prep School with us. Prep School, how's it going since our last recording?
Oh, very well, thank you very much.
Good. You enjoying the rally so far?
I think it's been an excellent rally. Certainly raised the bar.
Yeah. Gremlin's got a series of very interesting questions for you, haven't you, Gremlin?
Yes. Good afternoon, Prep School, and welcome to Ridecast again. Since our last interview with you, the numbers have gone through the roof. You know, you are our #1 guest, apart from the ones that followed you, and you set the bar very high. But the question we'd like to ask you is, your duty here is about to begin, isn't it? All the preparation now and the handing out the warrant or the charters to the new
president's
chapters.
presentation.
The president's presentation. So what is your responsibility now?
Well, first of all, I can't take any praise for the 3 chapters that put this together, being Parisi, Ridings and Linkins.
Yep.
And they certainly have raised the bar. So Region 7 has got to really pull their finger out, I think, to live up to the expectations.
And just tell us, just for the listeners, next year's rally, that's Region 7, where is that?
That being the West Country.
Okay, so it's way down southwest.
And are you allowed to say where it is?
At the moment, they're still scratching around for a venue, I believe.
Okay. So it's not Newton Abbot.
Or Land's End.
So
it could be anywhere.
So do you have a few charters to hand out this evening?
We've got, I believe, about 7, but whether they're all here today is another matter.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, presidents do have to come and collect their chapter charters.
They do. And following on from that, and also the serious point regarding all the chapters, how long before we have every province covered, in your opinion?
I think it's a few years off yet, but just chatting to Northwest Chapter's new president, he thinks that that's something that's in the pipeline with the East and West Lancs. I think West Midlands, Shropshire's put their hand up, so that's another one. So we're getting there. So I think within about 3 or 4 years, hopefully we've hit it.
I think one thing you will appreciate, you know, and we certainly do from Ridings and the province of Yorkshire West Riding, is at the actual lodge here. We had our provincial Grand Master and the provincial Grand Master from Parise's region, being Yorkshire North and East. So, you know, Grand Lodge are embracing it, in my opinion. What do you think to that?
Well, I think you're correct, because if you saw in the last edition of The Sun, the 4 bikes out the front of Freemasons Hall supporting Meet the Freemasons, on the back of that they had about 180 men attend Grand Lodge. 50% of the guys in the foyer helping were Widow Sons, and they had a 40% sign up. Unheard of. And we are certainly now on the radar and being asked to come back and help yet again with the recruitment drive.
They realise we're a massive draw, don't they? Finally, they've realised what a draw the Widow Sons is.
The penny is dropping, and I think also it's because they know we help with recruitment, retention, and £140,000 worth of money raised to good causes.
How's Life Lights going, by the way?
Well, that's the question I was going to ask. The final question from me was about Life Lights.
Life Lights, give or take, I think we've hit target.
Fantastic
Already. And there was a 4-year projection. We've done it in less than a year, is it?
Yeah, 4 years. We were asked to do £5,000 a year for 4 years. And we've done £20,000 in about 18 months.
Wow, year and a half.
What was discussed at the National AGM was regarding that target. Are we continuing with Life Lights for another 2 years, or is it a case of
we now hit our target, we looked to another charity.
No, the consensus of the room was to continue supporting Lifelines.
Yeah.
And they have a scheme where we can potentially be seen to be helping hospices throughout the country, and local chapters should be able to get recognition. So I've suggested to them we do it on regional lines again, because some regions have smaller chapters, some have bigger chapters. So it's all down to, you give according to your means. So if we regionalise it, it should mean that we can keep on giving substantial sums to Lifelines.
Fantastic.
For about 4 to 5 years to come.
Excellent.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Prep School. It's good to have a catch up with you, and hopefully catch you again soon.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks ever so
Good
much.
luck with the
next episode.
Fantastic.
Thank you for that.
Cheers, Prep School.
There you have it. So that's 2 of our guests on the show. Oh, I just wanted to mention, did you guys check out the shops that were pitched up as well in the tents?
I didn't get to go in them, but apparently they were quite good. There was a sewing tent. There was a leather works.
Yeah, they were doing belts, and the other one was like jewelry, lots of rings, bracelets, necklaces, and gremlin bells. Which, did you guys notice that Alien bought himself a gremlin bell?
He did.
And he was getting a right ear bashing for buying his own gremlin bell, because some of you bikers out there will know that you should never buy your own gremlin bell. Apparently it's bad.
No, but then he felt justified because somebody bought me a gremlin bell for my street glide, the one I had my accident on. So there he said.
He decided what he was going to do is he was going to give the gremlin bell to his wife, Janet, and say, give us 20 quid. And then she's bought it for him. So that was his way around the bad luck, the superstitious bad luck. I don't know if it had worked, but I guess we'll find out. So who's got a gremlin bell on their bike here? Obviously you have, Gremlin. I've got one. Have you got one, Pigpen?
No, I haven't.
Not the superstitious type then?
Not at all.
It would cost him quite a lot with his 5 bikes.
Yeah, that's true.
It don't make any difference.
You can't say that for definite. You don't know.
I think also as well, it would double the value of the mighty Honda if you were to put one on.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was the shops there. Like you said, there was a leather works. There was a lady sewing on the patches. So I got my patch sewed on, my rally patch sewn on straight away. There was beer on sale. Widow Sons Brew, which was raising money for charity. I don't know how many pints they sold. Obviously, having to ride home the same night, same as Pigpen and Gremlin, we weren't on the beer, were we? So
no. So
I didn't get to try that one, but I'm sure they raised plenty of money. We'll find out how much in.
Well, an unofficial figure.
Yeah.
Is £8,680, I think.
What, just on the beer?
No, altogether.
Altogether, right.
Altogether, right. Well, there are costs to come off that.
And then it'll be divided amongst the 3 chapters.
That, I presume, is how we're going to settle it all. Everything out, whatever's left gets split 3 ways, and that will be then divvied up.
And then we can then decide where we're donating our charity.
Each chapter will decide what they want to do with it, what charity they want to.
Right, moving on, guys. The lodge meeting, the big event of the Saturday, was the Widow Sons number 10,011 lodge meeting.
Wah, wah, wah.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
We'll come back to that. Well, there were 250 chairs set out in the hall, and we had to bring more out because there was more people. So I think there was roughly about 260 Mason or nearly all Widow Sons turned up. There was a few Widow Sons, but
there was a few VIP visitors as well. That's the biggest lodge meeting I've ever been to. I mean, you guys have probably been to provincial meetings, but that's the most I've ever seen in one lodge meeting.
Correct. It's different to provincial meeting to a craft meeting.
Yeah,
that's the
just
biggest.
A standard lodge meeting. I've never seen as many.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so we had the provincial Grand Master of the North and East.
Yep.
Who was there? We had the provincial Grand Master of Yorkshire West Riding.
Who we are interviewing.
Yes, we'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had the assistant provincial Grand Master from Durham.
Yes.
Who is
other Grand Lodge officers.
And I think he is an actual Widow Sons, is that gentleman.
Well, I don't know if he is. He was certainly in biker gear, but I don't know if he was a widow's son.
I don't know. I know he came on a bike. He rode here, so I don't know if he is he a widow's son. But anyway, he's definitely a proper biker because he came on his bike. So they were all escorted in.
Yeah, all in our cuts. There was a funny moment when House came sneaking in without his apron on, forgot his apron. So he came in, sneaked in, hid behind everyone else. Someone handed him a piece of A4 paper with some rosettes drawn on, and he just held it on his lap.
I drew him an entered apprentice's apron.
And the meeting was, you know, pretty standard. They don't do any ceremonies as such, do they?
No, it was an open and close, a secret ballot. We don't know who it was for, was it? Because it wasn't mentioned.
Yeah.
And the highlight was was you, Yakka, wasn't
Right,
it?
okay. Well, I was just going to say the PGM took the chair and climbed onto the bike, didn't he, briefly?
I think the funny bit was when he said this bike weighs 3/4 of a ton, he said, and so do I.
I was asked in advance by the DC and by the Worshipful Master of the Lodge to give greetings on behalf of the visitors, which is, you know, quite an honour, because rather than taking individual greetings from individual lodges, which would take about 45 minutes, they in a meeting like that, they get one visitor to stand up and give greetings on behalf of everyone. So I had the honour of being asked to give greetings for the visitors. So when the DC announced me and said that, you know, Worshipful Brother Yakka will now stand up and give greetings on behalf of the visitors, I stood up and said, you know, on behalf of all the visitors here today, I bring fraternal greetings. And then I followed up with an old-fashioned greeting amongst bikers. I said, keep your knees in the breeze and your shiny side up, which is a standard thing. Gremlin took offence to this. And as we all sat down, Gremlin, what did you do?
Wah, wah, wah.
He went, wah, wah, wah. What a terrible, what an idiot.
I didn't say anything. I just went, wah, wah, wah.
And I just want to say that
you got very upset.
Well, when you're standing up as a new worshipful master in front of a room of 300 odd people to give greetings, which is quite an honour, to only to have your best mate there, one of your best mates in the lodge room, to just basically ridicule you in front of 300 people. Yeah, I was a little bit disturbed. Yeah, I was a little bit upset. Anyway.
Now your greetings was perfect. It was that little joke afterwards, which apparently you told me I wouldn't know anyway because I'm not a biker.
Well, when you've been a biker as long as me and Pigpen, you would have heard that before.
Well, and I think Pigpen hadn't heard it either, had you?
Pigpen's heard that before. He must
Do
have.
not drag me into this. I am not involved.
Anyway, we kissed and made up. We're best of friends again. Well,
7 weeks later,
as friendly as we ever were, I suppose. No, but anyway, listen. That was the lodge meeting.
Yep.
There was quite a VIP that we managed to pull to one side after the lodge meeting. The PGM.
The provincial Grand Master of Yorkshire West Riding himself.
And this time Pigpen was there with us.
Yeah, instead of skiving as normal.
Have you heard it? I was out doing the proper thing, riding.
Yeah.
What were you two doing? Hey, what were you doing?
We were sat on the gate eating crisps and sandwiches.
What were you two doing? Nothing.
So the PGM. Do you want to hear the PGM interview, guys?
Yes.
Okay, here it is.
Okay, so this is Yakka. We have another guest to interview, but being that I'm a North and East Ridings Mason, I'm going to hand over to either Gremlin or Pigpen. Which is it, guys?
Well, I shall do it as President of Ridings.
Okay, over to you.
We are honoured and delighted this afternoon to welcome to our proceedings our Right Worshipful Provincial Grand Master, James Henry Newman. Welcome, sir, to podcast and also to the Widow Sons National Rally.
Thank you very much. And by the way, we're called Ridecast.
Yes.
Ridecast. Ridecast, yes. If you want to look us up.
I'm delighted to be here at Ridecast.
Excellent.
So, Right Worshipful Provincial Grand Master, is this your first rally?
This is my first bike rally. I've done a few car rallies over the years, but this is my first bike rally.
And do we think we can persuade you to change from 4 wheels to 2 wheels or even 3 wheels like I have?
No.
Good answer.
What have you thought of the day so far, what you've experienced so far?
It's been absolutely brilliant just to see all the camaraderie and the fact you've got everybody from all over the country coming here. You're all like-minded. Yeah. You all got. In fact, I've seen some very interesting ponytails, some beards.
Not from the three of us.
Some very interesting beards, hair colours,
tattoos.
Yeah, all the things that you associate with
roughy tufty bikers.
With biking,
but not with Freemasons.
Not necessarily. And
so, how do you think the two mesh together, Freemasonry and bikes?
Well, I think it was said earlier on. You know, the camaraderie is one and the same. I think you would all do something to help each other if you needed to help each other, and it's nationwide. So
And I think also from your point of view and our point of view as a recruitment for Freemasonry, you know, yours and my spiritual home, Lascelles Lodge in Wetherby, we recruited, or I recruited a gentleman who was interested in motorbikes. I went to meet him when I was interested in my first motorbike, and he saw my cut. And
you invited him out, didn't you?
Yeah, invited him out for a ride with us, and he was initiated a couple of years ago. And as a recruitment, people who wouldn't necessarily know what Freemasonry was or Freemasons can see us out there with the general public.
You're actually out.
We're visible.
But you're visible. There are obviously lots of themes. We've got rugby football. We've got classic cars. We've got golf. We've got all of the the sort of themes.
Specialist lodges.
Lodges, which are, and they pull people from all over either the country or certainly all over the province in many cases. So I'm very keen on it. We're about to hopefully start a Royal Art Rugby Football chapter in West Riding Province, and we're also talking about a soccer lodge. So there is a way of bringing people together.
So you think they're the way forward then, the special interest lodges
I
and
think the
groups
special
and
interests
associations?
are one way of growing Freemasonry. It's certainly one way of raising profile, and we must remember profile needs to be good profile, positive profile. So when you ride past my house, then I expect you to be keeping to the speed limit.
Once again, Pigpen, have you heard what the PGM has said? Are you paying attention?
I'm paying close attention to his words.
Well, excellent.
But then I suppose on that note, I suppose we can we announce that we've asked our PGM to be an honorary member of the Ridings chapter.
It sounds like you've just done it.
And
we haven't had a response yet.
We do have a road name as well.
He has picked his own road.
Was it Jumbo?
name.
Or was it Jimbo?
Jimbo.
Yes, which is fantastic.
A new widow son.
So we will be having a proper patching in ceremony at some stage later on in the summer or early autumn, where we hope to have as many members of the chapter present.
And for the patching ceremony.
The patching ceremony.
How many do you have in the province?
We have
in our chapter about 35ish.
35, 40, but we have candidates as well, so it could be 45 brethren there.
Excellent.
We'll try and get as many as we can and get you outfitted with a cut. And
we need to take your measurements. I mean, you saw the PGM of North and East. He's a bigger chap than you, sir, isn't he? So we're probably not looking like that sort of size.
No, please.
only one cow.
No.
So we can get that sorted.
Well,
but for the chapter, that gives us a great positive spin.
That
our provincial Grand Master is
a member of our chapter.
Yeah, supporting us.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's all we're asking.
As long as you obey the speed limit going past his house.
And you always obey the speed limit driving your tricycle. So.
Well, anyway, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of Ridecast and our chapter. Thanks for taking 5 minutes out and having a chat with us, and we'll send you the link to the podcast when it's all edited and published, and you can have a listen.
Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
You very
Brilliant.
much. PGM.
Right, nice chap, isn't he, the PGM?
We got a lovely letter back as well, which I sent out to the chapter.
Yes, I read that. It was great.
Thanking Gremlin with his tricycle.
So, as was mentioned in that last interview, or was it the Greg Kirby interview, the president's presentation was next that evening, wasn't it? The president's presentation. And that was when the presidents of all the chapters present are paraded out, and the presentations are done, the new charters are handed out, and news updates are given. So it's nice to see Gremlin stood up there as our representative of the Ridings chapter. I never got to do it because when I was president, the national rallies were cancelled. So Are you doing your brass band imitation again?
Brasso was there as well at the rally. Brasso was there.
Brasso was there,
Yes, he was. Come on, we're going to get all the names now. That's good.
I got to say though, Gremlin, you were looking a little bit tired stood up there. I thought they should have got a seat for you to have a little sit down. Because
to be fair, I'd been on my leg a long time during the day.
You've only got the one leg now, haven't you?
It'd been a long day Friday and Saturday, and I was exhausted, to be honest. But I did it. I was up there.
Yeah, and they handed out the 7 or 8
I think
charters. So that all went well, and it was a real positive day, real good atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that. That was the presentation, and then the bands came on, and we had two bands. The first band that came on were doing that was led by a widow's son wearing his cut, and they were doing like covers of Status Quo and
You're Everywhere and Nowhere, Baby.
Bryan Adams and all that sort of stuff. They were a real tight band. And then the second band that came on later on in the evening were the Blues Brothers tribute band, which we've seen them before. So a couple of awesome bands. So well done. One other thing I want to mention is there was one more interview that we did with Alvin, Ozzy and Nails. Do you remember that one, Gremlin?
We do, yep.
And we dragged them to one side because they are three of the members that are in Region 7 that are organising the rally for next year. So we thought, let's have a little chat with them about next year's rally and see what they've got to say. So let's hear the final interview.
Okay, so it's Yakka once again with Gremlin. We've got three brothers that we wanted to have a chat with, have a little interview with. We've got Alvin and Nails from Pilgrims chapter, which is which area? Devon. And we've got Ozzy, who is
past president of
Stonecutters, right? Okay. And the reason we've got these brothers together is they're avid listeners to Ridecast.
Avid listeners.
Well, apart from Ozzy.
Avid.
Ozzy's
to-do list.
Yes, exactly.
When he's bored.
But not only that, they are part of the team that are organising next year's rally.
Yeah, and
the
a
national
quick
rally.
Lurch, where are you? That's going to have to come off, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'll just beep that out. Don't worry, it's all
So
good.
the reason why we've asked you guys here, because we are handing over the reins of the rally to you guys for next year. So tell us officially now when and where.
So, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ozzy.
Go ahead.
Everyone jump in at once. So National Rally 2024. It'll be the 19th to the 21st of July, so it's a week earlier. Due to the venue having a wedding on the usual weekend. So, but people
we can break them up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
You've got 6 to 8 months to.
So we're trying to break the couple up, but if not, it'll be a week early. Obviously, people have got a year's notice, so hopefully it should be plenty of time.
And the location?
So it's going to be at Newton Abbot Rugby Club in Devon, which is so it's basically between Torquay and Exeter.
Yeah.
Now, so it's, can I just ask very quickly? So it's Region 7 this year organising it. So could you just give us a rundown of the chapters in Region 7?
So Region 7 is Wiltshire Stonecutters, Dorset Quarrymen, Wyvern, which is Somerset, Pilgrims, Devon, Brigstow, which is Bristol and Gloucester.
Excellent.
Okay, so out of that area, why have you chosen Newton Abbot?
So although
Contentious.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, go on. I can always edit it out. I'm definitely editing that out.
No, so originally, although I'm,
I love it.
Yeah, although I was the president of Wiltshire, I'm originally from Devon.
Okay.
And it's my local rugby club.
Yeah.
So my brother plays for him, and his wife works for him. So.
And you still couldn't get the venue on the right weekend?
He's got a lot of pull.
But yeah, like I say, obviously they know about a lot of what we do, so they managed to sort us out, got quite good rates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's a real good venue.
It's massive.
Is it?
Now, obviously, you guys have been north quite a few years now for rallies, and it's about time it went down south.
It is.
Now, I've heard not only is 2024 going to be in the south, but also 2025. Did I hear some rumours about it going across to Kent or something like that?
Is it?
So 2025 is going to be southeast.
Oh,
southeast.
Didn't know.
So we've got 2 years where the sun could be shining rather than coming to the rainy north.
Yeah.
Having said that, look at it. It's glorious today. We're having a beautiful day.
Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, the southeast isn't quite the southwest, but yeah, it'll be just as good, and it'll be nice for us not to travel 6 hours to go to a rally.
Yeah, I'll bet. You guys have put the mileage in, haven't you, the last few years?
Fantastic.
Three
Well, also, we've had numbers here of about 450, which did include children. Do you have a target for people to book?
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, I think we probably upped the numbers this year by about 100 people.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was...
Well, pre-COVID, the numbers were getting high. We were up to like, what, 500?
Lichfield is about 500.
And then COVID hit and it slowed everything down, didn't it?
So, so I think this year on last year, I think there were about 100 people up. So if we
No,
get
down.
No, we said there was
550 last year.
From
There was 550 last year.
Was there really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're aiming 600.
Yeah.
And look, if there's how many widow sons are there? 1,500.
Yeah, and the rate at which we're
and
patching in new,
partners.
yeah, and the rate at which we're patching in new members, you know, the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, and new charters.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think word's spreading about what the National Rally is and what we do, so more people will come in.
So how are you going to encourage more partners to come along? Because I think that's possibly why numbers... Do you want partners to come along?
Yes,
Do you want it to be a family event, or do you just want it to be a male Masonic event?
So for my chapter, we do a lot of our partners, and we host monthly quiz nights and socials off the bikes.
Very inclusive, then.
We do dinner nights.
Our monthly meetings are the same.
A lot of ladies.
And also it gives us the opportunity when they don't want to come.
And we've taken them out for the night as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If the ladies come, you guys get to ride your bikes more often, don't you? You get to go out more if the ladies come with you.
Absolutely.
We figured that out years ago, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, and it's worked quite successfully for us. We've got a lot of the wives and partners that take part in what we do. So, and then most of the time they can't be bothered to come. So
Yeah. Once they realise they're not actually missing much, then they stay at home and watch Netflix, don't they?
So your chap said that it took you a couple of days to get up here because we heard a rumour that you don't like riding more than an hour and a half.
Yeah, you get sore bums, apparently.
I'm not saying a word who it was, but his name was Badger, he moaned.
So if you're heading back tomorrow, you're aiming to be back home by Wednesday or Thursday? Or...
No, we're doing it in a one or two.
You're doing it in a one or
bloody
tomorrow?
hell.
straight over.
There'll be a lot of whinging, but we're doing it in a
We might have to stop every 20
Yeah, it's a 14-hour ride, but you get there in the end.
I think the corridor might not be charged up tomorrow.
Are you in your car?
No.
Oh,
We're all on
okay.
bikes.
You're all on bikes?
Yeah, all on bikes.
So, obviously it's going to be a big night tonight, so what time do you reckon you might be heading off in the morning? Have you set a time already?
You're going to be a bit fragile tomorrow.
We know Wyvern will be out on parade duty about 6 when they
Well,
reveal.
we've been told the rain comes in at 10.
Does it?
Okay.
Oh, well, you need to be away early
We'll
then.
be packed up
Yeah.
before the rain
Yeah,
comes.
you're going to be leaving
the
it.
sun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be away at 8 o'clock, really. You can get that rain 2 hours behind you
Yes.
that way, can't you?
Yeah.
I don't see it happening, do you?
Not a piece like last night.
What are we trying to say?
14?
How is the Widow's Son's brew, by the way? Have you guys tried it?
I've been drinking Guinness.
That's not in the spirit of the rally, guys. Get over there and order 6 each.
Mine's not in the spirit. I don't
What do you
drink.
mean? Oh, well.
Right, can I ask a question just regarding the amenities here? Has it been good? Has there been enough toilets? Because
No.
here, so that is one thing. Perhaps you might consider more
Well,
toilets.
what we have just spoke about is getting Portaloos dotted around, because it's a much bigger area where we've got.
Yeah.
I think maybe the old Portaloo dotted around as well.
We got two clubhouses at the next venue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It is massive.
well as
It
outside
really is
toilets, so-
massive.
Have you got plenty of hotels nearby?
Yeah.
Listen, being a
He's already been there.
I was going to say, being a disabled rider,
There we go.
I will be. I'll
He's
be down on my trike, but
He's going to dine out on that excuse for
But
the
I
next
do-
40 years, isn't
If
he?
you were stood on the rugby club now,
Yeah.
where those houses are is a Holiday Inn.
Right. Okay.
Holiday Inn. They used it as a travel lodge.
It's a travel lodge.
That's
Oh, it's travel lodges.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same difference. Same difference.
Same smell, just a different.
yeah, so directly across the road is a travel lodge.
Yeah.
We're in the process of trying to see if we can get a discount. But
Does it have
the drama
parking?
is, yeah, so it's on the side of the racecourse.
Fantastic.
The drama is if we get discount, then more people will want to stay in it. Obviously.
We've already booked our
It's not
room.
overly in the spirit of a bike rally, but
well, it is. If we come down the back, listen, I can't go in a
yeah,
tent.
we'll let you off. But,
Yeah.
not the rest.
Why
of
we
it.
let them off?
Well, listen, guys.
One-legged riders deserve a little bit of comfort.
A little bit of leeway. A little bit of leeway. Right, guys, listen. I don't want to keep you guys from your beers because I can see you're all looking a bit thirsty. Apart from you, Nails, obviously not drinking. You can go and have a glass of lemonade. So thanks ever so much for taking part in our little interview. Thanks to Alvin, Ozzy, and Nails.
Yeah. Ozzy, hopefully you will be listening.
Right, so anyway, so that's the National Rally wrapped up for 2023. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone that made an effort and helped organise and sit on the gate for hours and do the rides and everything else that was involved. It was a successful weekend.
Very good.
And we're back into the final segment of the show, which, as you know, is...
Email Corner.
Corner, corner, corner. Right. First of all, I've got a couple of I say shout outs. There were too many to shout out individually. But on Facebook, I just want to say thanks to all the widow sons that have been commenting on Facebook to say that they're looking forward to the next episode. So we're gathering a bit of momentum now. People are looking forward to the episode. So thanks to all the people that commented. Who's got an email? Do you want to go first, Pigpen?
Yeah, I'll go. Dear Pigpen, Yakka, and the other Muppet. Well.
Have they really put that in it?
Yeah. I think they know you. Anyway. As well as bikes, I'm a car enthusiast. I have owned a Porsche 4-month 1982 911 SC since 2004, and my motorcycle is a 2012 VFR 800. My question is, do you guys have any interesting cars, or are you strictly bikers? Loving the show, and that is Dan.
Good question. Well, I mean, I'll answer first. I'm not a car guy at all. I own a Vauxhall Insignia, which is a works vehicle, and it's just for shopping and work. I have no interest in cars at all. Having said that, if money was no object, I suppose a nice convertible Aston Martin would be quite nice. But when it comes to cars, I think it's more you in it, Gremlin.
I do like. Yeah, I've always been interested in cars and bikes. Fast cars, fast bikes, fast women.
Well, you've got a poor man's Porsche now, haven't you?
Do you know, you keep going on it. I've got a poor man's Porsche because I can't afford to put an engine in it.
I haven't got an engine in it.
I have an electric
Bloody electric motor in it. That's a poor man's Porsche.
Have you had a ride in it, Pigpen?
I've not been in his. I've been in Elton.
He can't get in it.
He can get in, but he can't get back out.
I went in a better one. I went in Elton's, a better one. It's
right. Well, I had a ride in Gremlins, and I tell you what, it's a fast car. It really is fast. Yeah, unbelievable. But have you had other sort of sporty prestige cars in the past, Gremlin?
No, I haven't. I've always liked fast cars. You know, when I was younger, Golf GTIs.
Your hot hatchbacks.
Yeah, I loved a hot hatch. And if money was if money was no object, I could get a classic car from the past. It would be a Jensen Interceptor.
No idea what
I went through a stage of cars a few years ago now. After a bit of a bike accident, I sort of fell out of love with bikes for a bit because of it, and I went down the route of Mitsubishi Evos and Super stuff like that, and we tweaked an engine out of a Mitsubishi Evo 6, and we got it up to 660 horsepower. It was quick, it was, but it just didn't give me a thrill of a bike.
No, never will it? Do you know the only ever car that I've really ever wanted and just had a desire for, and it was since I was about 10 years old when I saw the Roger Moore James Bond movie called The Spy Who Loved Me, and that was the one with the Lotus Esprit submarine.
Nobody does it half as good as you.
That's the one.
You're the best.
Carly Simon, the best ever Bond theme, best ever Bond song. But yeah, that white Lotus Esprit, ever since I was like 10 years old when that movie came out, I thought, I'd love one of those cars. But apparently they're a bit of a nightmare to own.
The ones that go underwater usually are.
Yeah,
I think I'm like you. If I could just go out and buy a car, I think it'd be probably a DB8, DB9,
Vanquish, one of those.
Yeah, something like that. Just
classy, aren't they?
Yeah, and even not a new one, even a DB7 or something. Something with a bit of age about it, like you say, just that look, that sleekness, just to.
The sound of them V8, V10 engines. Yeah,
just to cruise about in, preferably like a soft top, just something to chill out in.
You like cruising, don't you, Pigpen?
I do like cruising.
So anyway, there you go, Dan. We've answered your question. That was a good email. I like that. It was good to have a little chat about cars for a change. But anyway, let's get back to the serious business of motorbikes. Right, I've got one for you. I've got an email for you here. Dear Ridecast, I recently became aware of the annual Ride to the Wall event coming up soon, guys, and am considering attending for the first time this October. Is this something you guys support? And do you have any suggestions or recommendations? Thanks in advance. And that's from Daryl. So, yeah, Topical is coming up in a couple of months, isn't it? First Saturday in October.
Waterproofs.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
The last time I went, which was 2 years ago.
Before you get into that, Gremlin, do you want to just tell the listeners what the Ride to the Wall is in case they've never heard of it?
Yeah, it is the annual motorbike ride to the National Arboretum near Lichfield.
Yeah.
And it is for...
It's a memorial event, isn't it?
Memorial event for the fallen.
And all the bikers go,
Yeah.
and you'll get about, I don't know,
Thousands.
last time there was about 6,000 or 7,000 bikes there.
Yeah.
All the bikers go, they put on a service, remembrance service, and it's just for the bikers to pay their respects.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, it's in October, which isn't,
It isn't.
it's
So it's a bit
outside
miserable.
the biking season, isn't it?
Yeah, and last time I went, I was very lucky I didn't get hypothermia because I just put on the wrong clothes. So waterproofs and warm clothes. But also, if you are a Freemason, there is the Masonic Memorial Garden there, and there is a ceremony held 1 o'clock on the Saturday, and it is open to all Freemasons. Doesn't matter if you're a widow son or not, but you have to be a Mason to go into it because of the Masonic significance. So if you've never been, give it a go.
Definitely,
Just go.
definitely.
Yep.
It's hard not to shed a tear when you walk up them steps with thousands of bikers walking up with you, to go up to the wall, to see the wreaths being laid, and if you're a patriot like the three of us are, it's it's an emotional day, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Right, okay. I think we have one final email from an old adversary of ours, which Gremlin has. So Gremlin, over to you.
To the terrible triplets, we can all agree that Gremlin's machine should be towing a trailer full of carrots. But what about Yakka's so-called boxer? I've seen better engines in rotavators. As for you, Pigpen, 5 Japanese bikes. How about applying a little imagination or originality to your biking? I keep listening to this I keep listening to this podcast to see if it gets any worse, and it never disappoints. This email will be the highlight of the show. You can thank me later. Keep on stinking the podjacker. Now,
there he is.
First point there, podjacker. I keep listening to this podcast to see if it gets any worse, and it never disappoints. So I think what you're actually saying there, you are never disappointed by this podcast. So thank you for that.
Yeah, semantics. Yeah. He fell right back into his own trap on that one, didn't he?
He did. So thank you. Pigpen, you're absolutely right, Pigpen. You've got no imagination, have you?
5 Japanese bikes. You've got. He's right. You've got 5 Japanese bikes.
No, my KTM ain't Japanese.
Oh, you got the KTM. Is that rebuilt
that's your
yet?
6th.
That's Austrian. So
is it working?
Bits of it.
So is it rideable?
No, it's not. It can't be.
You'd have to push it with your feet at minute, but no.
It's rideable downhills.
Is this the one that was stolen you found in some garage in Bradford or something?
It was.
Yeah.
And technically, the Honda is American.
Yeah, built in America.
Unlike
Harley Davidson's.
Oh, yeah, your Harley. Where's that from? China.
I think you'll find it is actually still built in Milwaukee.
Yeah, righto. Where's that bits? Chinese.
Anyway, you've got us all fired up now, Podjacker, which is probably his intention.
Do you want to talk about your engine?
My engine? Yeah.
I've seen better engines in rotavators.
Yeah, well, maybe. You got the flat twin boxer engine. It's a classic. You know, I mean, they invaded Europe with that engine, didn't they, Pigpen?
And they lost.
Yeah, they got repelled by the Allied forces, thank God. But the BMW Boxer engine is a classic. It hasn't changed much in the last 70 years. And that's because it's such a good engine. So keep your rotavators. I don't know what the hell you're on about, cheeky sod. Anyway, Podjacker, send us your name. We want to know who you are. We've had enough of this.
We'll hunt you down.
In fact, why don't we open it up to him send an email so that we can get him on the show.
Yeah, come on.
Let's have him on the show. Come on, Podjacker. Who are you?
If we can arrange it, anonymously, so you can come on the Zoom anonymously without the camera on.
Yeah,
maybe
you can black yourself out.
You can use a voice changer if you want.
Yeah.
Let's get you on the show. Let's hear from you.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, guys, on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up the episode. Okay, so thanks to everyone for listening. Don't forget to send in your emails for next month, ridecast@hotmail.com. Check out the YouTube channel. We'll have a video there, and we'll catch up with you on the next recording. So this is Yakka signing off for Ridecast. Over to you, Gremlin.
It's good night from him.
And it's good night from me.
Bye, everyone. Catch you next time.
See you later.
They can't hear you waving, Gremlin.
That was good.